All right, so this is a Buick Lucerne. This is a 2008 Buick Lucerne, and it had the problem that I think many of them have, where this door handle broke. And what would happen is when you went to open it, this whole piece right here would pull away. The lock cylinder would stay attached to the door, but this whole plastic handle right here had broken on the inside and would pull away from the door. So to open the door, you'd have to push your thumb on it to hold the whole latch and the whole, handle in place, and then open the door handle like this. Okay, so I just replaced this with a brand new one that we actually reinforced the inside with a bunch of JB weld, so it'll be stronger than the original one that actually failed. In a second here, I'll show you how we got the door panel off a little bit. I'll describe that. All right, so this is the inside of the door panel, and it was a little confusing on how to get this panel actually off of the car. And so I just want to go through a little bit about how we did that. So right behind here, there's one screw. There's a little plastic panel that you pry off with like a little screwdriver or a pick tool. And then there's one screw in here, and that's going to be the only screw that you're going to find on the inside of the Lucerne door. Then you take a pry tool and you just start in here and you just you go around and pop off all the little plastic clips that hold this door on. There's about a dozen of them all the way around, including up here on the top piece. There's one or two up here. You stick a pry tool in here and pop this off, and then this piece stays attached to this whole door panel here. And then what you do is you just lift this door panel up and pull it out, and you'll have to undo a cable that's clipped onto here, and then there's an electrical connector up in this area that you have to pull apart, and then the whole door comes away. Now, what holds this handle area firmly to the door itself, this inside piece, and normally there's a couple of bolts or something that would go through here, but not on the Lucerne. Instead, it has two metal clips that clip into two plastic guides on the actual door panel. And so as you lift this door up, those disengage and allow the door to come away. And then you can get your hand up inside here to the one bolt in the front and the two bolts in the back that are just between the lock cylinder and the handle mechanism. And when that's broken, it's easy because you can just unscrew them from the outside. Then there's a linkage rod that comes up from the door latch that you can actually push out the opening and disengage. You kind of twist and disengage the handle on the outside from the linkage rod, and then the whole thing comes off the car. So it's really not too bad. When you go to put this, and I'll talk about the handle in a minute, but when you go to put this door back onto the car, the interesting thing was, you start at the top and get this lip into the window rail, push the door down, then you just go around and pound in all the metal clips, or all the little plastic clips all the way around the door, including up here. And then at the door handle, to re-engage those guides with the two metal clips that are on this inner panel, you just whack it really hard a couple times right here, and those clips will re-engage those guides. And so that's how we clip this door back together, so it would be solid and not moving around. And that worked out really well, but it was very confusing because I couldn't really tell how to get this door panel off, and I couldn't find any good instructions online, so that's why I created this video. And now in the next video, I'm going to show you how we actually fixed the door handle, how we reinforced it on the new one, and how you could actually fix your broken door handle without even buying any new parts. And so stay tuned. All right, so here is the driver's door handle from a 2008 Buick Lucerne, and this is the one we replaced yesterday that had broken off. You can see right here that there's these two round plastic molded pieces, and the one on the right is broken completely through, and hopefully I can get here, the one on the left has got a pretty significant crack in it. And what happens there with those pieces is that they have these knurled inserts that go into them, that were molded into them, that the bolts holding the door handle onto the car go through. And these inserts pulled out when these plastic pieces broke. And so what we ended up doing to put the new one before we put it in is we put JB weld all around this cavity all the way up to where the lock cylinder goes in, and completely surrounded these plastic pieces with JB weld to really cement them in place and give them a lot more strength. So hopefully the new one won't break and crack like the old one did. And I believe that we can repair, it would be possible to repair one of these doing that same kind of a process with JB Weld as we put on the new one to reinforce it. You could actually, you know, put these inserts back in. It's kind of hard to do while you're holding the camera. You put the insert back in, and then just JB Weld, you know, this whole area again between the lock cylinder and this latch mechanism, the handle mechanism, fill that whole void in with JB Weld to really make sure that those things stay. You know, certainly I'm not positive if that's going to hold or not, but it would be worth a try if you're trying to do this without buying parts. And if you are buying a new part, it's definitely worth doing that before you install it, so that these things don't crack out and break out like this over time, like the original one did. Okay, so when mixing up the JB Weld, I just use something like this decking nail or decking screw or a small nail or something to just get some JB Weld around the screw and then stick it in here and kind of just start spreading it around. You just do this over and over again until this entire cavity right here is filled. I'm going to be able to do this with holding the camera, so let me finish it and then show you the finished product. We used about 1/3 of these tubes of JB Weld here. Alright, so here's the finished product of the repaired unit I just did. You can see I've filled up the entire void around those 2 plastic sleeves that hold those metal inserts into them. Between the lock cylinder and the mechanism for the door handle here is now completely filled with a solid block of JB Weld. So you can see, you know, how that looks. And that certainly, we did this one on the brand new one to provide some structural support for the, you know, the new handle, so it won't break like the old one did and won't crack. And it's still yet to be seen how long this holds up for a broken handle where these inserts have already pulled out. But it certainly would hold for some period of time. And I just wanted to show you guys how I decided to fix it. So good luck with your own repair. So just a couple of things I forgot to mention here. If you are repairing yours that already broke, be sure to put a little JB Weld around around these metal inserts before you stick it back in there to kind of glue them in place all around them, and then fill this void in with the JB Weld. I didn't mention that. And then you want to make sure that you really clean out this lock cylinder and stuff so that it's still round, and get off any excess JB Weld that might have got on the handle. Just wipe it off while it's still pliable, while you still can, and make sure that it'll all fit together. And then, like I said, you just fill in that whole area and hope for the best. Good luck.